Good evening. This is David Lynn. It is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, February the 27th, 2024. And this is Coffee Talk number 162 live stream. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be most appreciative. Joseph Moore. Hello. I am on a countdown to spring break. A little tired. You know, you get to a certain age, you're tired all the time. I'm carrying more weight than I used to carry. I don't exercise the way I used to exercise. And the extra weight is like carrying something around with you all the time. Well, it's one of the benefits of being in education is that you get lots of days off. You get lots of holidays. You got your weekends. You get a week off around Thanksgiving, which is actually 9 days. When you get a week off, you get 2 weekends. Verna, thank you for coming in. Face Place. And the Black Widow. So it is good to be in education. Um, it's good to have a couple of days off every week, Saturday and Sunday. Also, you get holidays off. So, like I said, um, Thanksgiving, normally you get that whole week off. That's 9 days. I'm having lemonade, a little great value packet of artificial, doesn't have calories in it, lemonade. Um, Anton Miles, thank you for coming in, Anton Miles. And you know, you get 2 weeks off at Christmas. Actually, you get like 17 days off at Christmas. At least that's what I did this past Christmas. I had 17 days off. I've got 8 more days, 3 days this week, 5 days next week, and then I will be off for spring break, and I'll have 9 days off for spring break. 2 weekends and plus the regular work week, 5 days, so that's 9 days. And then I'll have 9 more weeks. I'll have 1 more quarter, and then I'll have a couple of months off for summer. June, July, and part of August. And you get paid. You don't get paid during the summer. Little Lone Prepper, thank you for coming in. So, you know, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy working with kids. And I have 2 teacher assistants that work with me. Now, when it's not good, it's not good, you know, or I would not have the teacher assistants. They have teacher assistants in there basically for behavior management to help out when a kid like loses control or really gets out of hand. one person is supposed to take the other kids out, and then the other two people deal with the kid that's acting up. And then, of course, you call administration. The administrator or two will show up to, you know, take charge. In some ways, it's sort of funny. Um, the in Texas, we have our Department of Public Safety, DPS, and they wear cowboy hats and they wear the tan uniforms, and they risk their lives every day. Idaho Garden Girl, thanks for coming in. But they've got sort of a swagger about them, and when something happens and they show up on site, they want to take charge. And they're in charge, you know. So probably 20, been about 20 years. The kid was 5 or 6 at the time, and yeah, and we were driving, and I guess we were coming back from visiting my wife's family up in Beaumont and Port Arthur, and we were on our way back to I don't remember if we'd moved from Corpus at the time or if we were already in Victoria, but this car in front of us was driving, and there was a big 18-wheeler, and something flew off the 18-wheeler. Something pretty good size flew off. It was a open bed truck, and it might have been a tire, but something flew off from the bed of an 18-wheeler. And when that happened, there was a teenage girl driving. Her brother was with her, and then there was another adult in the vehicle. The teenage girl and the adult were wearing seatbelts, and then the boy was in the back seat and did not have a seatbelt on. She turned that wheel, just doing 65, 70 miles an hour. She turned that wheel to avoid that, and it caused that vehicle to flip 3 or 4 times into a ditch. I mean, it looked like in slow motion in front of me, the way it happened. And we pulled over, and I think I've told this story before. So, KP Heathen, thank you for coming in, KP Heathen. And Joshua Humphrey. Let me write down these names before I finish my story. I've told this story before. Maybe you might remember it, but it's been a while, I guess, since I told it. And we pulled over, and my wife jumped out. And she had some medical training. How are you doing, Maria? We pulled over. Mama Four Boys, thanks for coming in, Mama Four Boys. Jumped out, started pulling people out of the vehicle, and the boy was bleeding. I think he had some busted ribs and maybe a broken arm. He was not in a seatbelt, so he was the most hurt. Called on cell phone, asking for help. We were in between some little, just came out of a town, a few miles out of a town, and there wasn't really any population centers around, just highway. And a couple other vehicles pulled over, and everybody was trying to help. And a volunteer fire department, an old Suburban, painted red, old Suburban, showed up with some people, jumped out, volunteers, started helping out. Sheriff's Department showed up, Deputy Sheriff Department showed up, a constable showed up, an ambulance showed up, and when everything was pretty much under control and everything was, going just fine, and it was pretty much set and over, a DPS trooper showed up and announced he was in control. He was going to take control of the site. He was going to be in command. And I just remembered that, and I'll never forget that because I've had a few, dealings with Department of Public Safety, and they, like I said, they risk their lives and thank them for their service, but they've got a little bit of excessive testosterone. They just like it's almost like the Marines. When they show up, it's like the Marines. It's not like the Army, it's like the Marines. Gung ho. Shows up and they're in charge. And I just thought that was sort of funny that when everything was said and done, and then he's basically taking control. Um, and I've had dealings with a few when as a principal and as an assistant principal. I had dealings with the DPS troopers on their kids on a few occasions, and the way they the way that they usually represent themselves, like they're the alpha male, and their kid is an alpha male, you know, and they're there to support their kid, and even when their kid is wrong, they're up there wanting to support their kid. It's like, well, what are you teaching your kid when you're defending your child when they're obviously wrong, you know? But I mean, that's just stuff that I've dealt with. Now, if Uncle Al was here, he'd say stick to prepping. Stick to prepping. Well, okay, sticking to prepping. Um, you need a good first aid kit, because what if you something like that happens, and you know you're the only one there. Somebody gets seriously hurt. So you better have a good first aid kit, and if they're bleeding, you better have some pressure bandages, some bleed stops, some pressure bandages. And if they broke something, like they got a broken arm or a broken leg, you might need to put a splint on it. You better know how to do it. And I will say this: if you're going to do it, you better have had training on how to do it. You can do more damage than good if you don't know what you're doing. Um, Wayne, the ungrateful peasant, how are you doing? I I've been ordering number 10 cans again. Um, Trying to fill out preps and deepen my preps. So I ordered a number 10 can of milk, and it is a Nutrient Survival. The brand is Nutrient Survival. It's in a blue can, and I ordered it, and I paid like $26 for it, and it's got 60 servings, so there's enough to make 68-ounce glasses of milk. Now, I had been ordering, and I've got several cans of Agassiz Farms number 10 cans, and their number 10 can has enough freeze dried milk to make 33 8-ounce glasses. And I think I paid like $16, $17, about $17 for the Agassiz Farms, and then the Nutrient Survival I paid like 26. So for an extra $9 or $10, you get almost twice as much. You know. So that's something that like when you're ordering stuff like that. And another thing is you want to open at least one can up and know what you're getting and use it. If you're storing multiple, you want to make sure with your when you first start getting it. And I probably need to do some little shorts or some videos, of how you basically prepare it, and and what you do with it, and give you my take on how it tastes. It basically tastes like milk. You know, it's not sweet. It's not. You can use it cereal. You can use it, for as with your coffee. It's not like really rich, but it's not. It's like low fat. It's not homogenized. You know how homogenized milk tastes? Homogenized milk, that you can taste the fat. I mean, it really tastes good, but I mean, it's not as healthy for you as low fat milk would be. You know, I mean, low fat milk has the same nutrients as homogenized milk, but a lot less calories. The fat content. Um, yeah, well, um, I periodically will mix up a quart of, um, powdered milk. And I got tons of it, different brands. And you mix it up with water, you put it in the fridge, or you put it in your 12-volt fridge or whatever it is, and you let it basically sit overnight. You don't mix it and immediately start drinking it. You know, you mix it up, you put it in your, get it cold, and you let it sit overnight. And then you start using it. You know. And like I said, you mix a quart and you got a quart bottle, that's 4 glasses. So a quart's not going to last you very long. If there's 4 of you and each have a glass, that quart's gone one sitting. And the other thing I will tell you, depending on who you're with, ka ka tai tai va tong. I know I mispronounced your name. I'm not good. I don't do good Asian. I think that's Asian. Welcome. So the thing about like having freeze dried foods and freeze dried beverages and such is that they store for years and years and years and years and years and years, 25, 30 years or more. That if you keep them out of the heat, you put them in, some places fairly stable climate, out of the light, out of the heat, and they will last you, they'll last you forever. And then when you open up a can, and a lot of times you get a can like that, it'll have packets in it. So you open up one packet and you start mixing up from one packet. But then when you open up that packet, you need to use it in short order. I mean, within a couple of weeks, you need to basically go through and use it. And if you're drinking milk on a regular basis, you're going to use it. You're going to use that up. You'll be mixing multiple quarts, and you can mix up multiple quarts at the same time. You know, and then some of the packets that you get are designed to basically mix one quart, as opposed to, you get a pretty good size packet in there, and you can mix up multiple quarts with it. So you got to measure it out, so that you get it fairly your consistency right. Um, and it'll have directions. It'll have directions on how to do it. You mix it up, put it in the fridge, and then the same thing. Like, let's say you get some shelf stable milk. whether it's a milk, it's like a plant-based milk. So let's say you get an oat milk or an almond milk, or you know, one of your whey milk, and you mix it. You mix that up. And you put it in you put it in the fridge, or you got one that's already prepared, and basically it comes in quarts, and you want to use it. Well, before you open it, you go ahead and you just put it in the fridge so you get it cold. So it will be cold, because once you open up, like if you've got a ready milk, shelf stable milk, once you open it up, you've got to refrigerate it. It's got to be refrigerated once you open it up. And you only use milk for cooking. And that's one of the reasons why we use alternate milks, because some people are lactose intolerant. Like they can't handle milk. It starts giving them gas, and they start having cramps and everything. Most people around the world as adults are lactose intolerant. Every child, I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule, but children are, no matter what culture you're from, children are able to drink milk without any problems until about the age of 4. And then if you've got those genes for lactose intolerance, it's they kick in, and you can't, and you really do not want to be drinking milk. But if you drink a milk substitute, like if you drink something like oat milk or almond milk or something, whey milk, something plant based, alternate based milk, you're not going to have that problem. Hello, bus stop. $12 in the house and 12 likes. Oh, smoothies are good. I can remember when I was young, my father would make ice cream. You remember those ice cream makers, and you use ice and rock salt, and then you got a mix that you use, and then you also let's say you like my father loved peach ice cream, and we'd pick peaches off of our peach trees, and he'd make peach ice cream, or he'd make plum ice cream, because we had plums, and he brought them from Georgia. Brought them in, planted them, and I mean we had an orchard just about. Those things would fall, that they'd be rotting on the ground. We had so many of them. SD Mountain Man, hello Scott, thanks for coming in. So I'm thinking about videos that I need to make. I need to make demonstration videos. I talk about stuff, and it's not the same as when I show it. Or you want to learn about stuff, you can Google it, or you can search, you can YouTube search, or whatever what's your platform or whatever. You can search stuff, and you can get demonstrations, and you can get how to do stuff, and it's always a good thing to do. Having books on first aid, having books on cooking, having books on survival type, camping, fishing, how to use stuff, how to do stuff in print. You'll always have those. The internet, poof, the internet's gone. Is it in print? Or have you printed it out and put it in a binder? Do you have a notebook? You document stuff in a notebook. I'm old school. I use paper and pen. You want stuff that'll be around. Yeah, I have willpower. My friend owns the Baskin Robbins franchise in Victoria. On the way home, I pass it going to work. I pass it coming home. Sometimes I'll stop and I'll get myself. Tell you what, the other day, kid hooked me up. I had a 3 scoop. I had a scoop of vanilla, a scoop of cherry, and a scoop of chocolate. And that thing looked like something that they'd give Biden. You ever notice, when the president, he's always getting ice cream, and those damned ice creams are huge, waffle cones. The damn thing's like, you got to start, because that thing's going to start melting on you. It's going to be all over the place. You got to really start wolfing it down, And, I mean, they sometimes they hook you up. You get a 3 scooper, that damn thing's a 3 scooper. But anyway, so right behind me, I've got a brand new Bouge RV, 37 quart or 37 liter, I should say, refrigerator freezer, 12 volt. It's on wheels. It's got a handle, for hauling it along. It's a dual zone, really nice one. And I really need to have the thing where I can demonstrate it. But it's basically sitting there. My wife unboxed it and it's just sitting there. And I'm planning on getting another one, that way I'll have 3. And if something happens, I got backups. And you don't use all of them at the same time. You use one, and that's your go-to, and you use it. And you can actually use it for a while and let it rest, and then use another one. You can alternate back and forth. Same thing like with generators. You use the generator, run it down, kick in. You got 2 of them. Kick in the other one, let that one rest. When that one runs out of fuel, kick in the next one. It's like back and forth where you rotate stuff. Mr. Whistle, thank you for coming in. Let me write that one down, because I wrote that last one about the forbidden or forgotten books. Let me write that one down, Wayne. Adele's Carpentry. Need to look those up and see if I can get a hold of them. Thank you. If you're not subscribed to The Ungrateful Peasant, Wayne's got a good channel. And I try to look at his stuff when I have time. Whenever you go into a channel, identify yourself, leave a like and a supportive comment. Let them know you appreciate them. It does not cost you anything to do that. It does not cost you anything to be supportive, to leave a supportive comment when you go into a channel. It's good manners. Mike Crusher, thank you for coming in, Mike. And likewise, Mike's got a very good channel. He does reviews of freeze-dried food, meals, military meals, different military meals from different countries. He does a lot of, he's demonstrating. He's eating and he's letting you know it's good. Or if it's not too good, he'll let you know it's not too good, And another good channel to be subscribed to. And I'm probably behind You know, I work all day long, and I get like I've got, I hit the bell icon on a number of the channels that I'm subscribed to, so I get notifications on your channels, and I also get your feeds on, you do shorts and such. During the day, I will look at shorts. Like you'll see like, hey, well, you dropped 2 or 3 shorts, so you got comments from it. You dropped a video and I didn't comment on it. It was because I didn't watch it. I hadn't watched it. I don't have time. You know, I take a little break for a few minutes and I watch a few shorts. That come up on my stream. Um, Belinda's Country Living. Thanks for coming in, Belinda's Country Living. Belinda's got an excellent channel. That woman can cook. She puts out some good. I like that haul video that you did. That was a good haul. I put out a haul video where I went over to Sam's. It's about 5 minutes long. I shot images of all the various stuff with prices of what I got. I spent like $464 over there. In preps, really good preps to have, things to have. You can go over there and you can get propane, the 1 pound propane. You can get a 6 pack for $30 or $5 a canister now, which is the going rate. You can go over and you can get butane. You can get a 4 pack of butane for around $9 for a butane stove. You can go and you can get the canned heat. You get a 12 pack of the canned heat, and that goes for $20 right now. Those canned heats will burn for 6 hours. You use a couple of them, and you use them inside. You use a couple of them, and it'll keep a small bedroom warm. When it's really cold. If you don't have the heater, if you don't have the heat, it'll keep it above freezing. And also, you can use it to boil water. I oftentimes will use 2 of the stoves. One, I'm basically heating retort pouches, whether it be like a Dingy Moore or a Hormel Complete meal that's in a plastic 8-ounce serving that's in plastic that you can microwave or you can boil it. The military rations are at 8 ounces, so like you get like a retort pouch military ration, those are 8 ounces, and you can boil them. The MREs that you get, or the rations that you get nowadays, a lot of times the US ones, the flameless ration heater that comes with it they're not really any good. Even if you put salt in the water that you put in it, a lot of times they don't work. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they work halfway. I found that boiling, heating water, boiling it, getting it up, and letting it get hot that way, you get a lot more consistency out of it. In those little cans, you can light them, use them, put them out. Light them, use them, put them out. And you can do that repeatedly until you burn out the 6 hours worth of a life of it. It's not rocket science, and same thing with boiling water. It takes you maybe 12 minutes to boil water. It's not that. It's not brain surgery. And we have 16 likes, living in the house. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will certainly help me out. Warm milk with a little bit of honey. Well, honey is good. Honey is good. It's a good sweetener, and honey will last forever. Now, sometimes it'll basically dry on you, and then you got to go and you got to remelt it. You got to heat it. Everybody is, yes, Honey will crystallize. Yep, 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 yep. It will. Apricot pie. Yep, good stuff. Good stuff. Teaches about how to dig a foundation with a plow, which is a lost technology now. You know, I have put together foundations on piers. You go and you buy the concrete. Um, you go and buy them. You know, you can actually buy forms. You can buy forms. You can mix your. You can mix your. You got a mixer. You can mix it up, pour it. Um, I've done that, and I used to when I was younger. Like if I wanted a sidewalk, I'd make my own sidewalk. The sidewalks that I put at my house outside, they're 20 years old and they don't have any cracks. I mean, I put expansion joints in, but they don't have any cracks. Whereas the ones that were already there with the house got cracks all over the place, you know. And I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything, it's just I did it right. I did a good job on it, you know. And I put some rebar in to reinforce and hold it. And that way, good stuff. I'll check it out, bus stop. Um, so when I go and I visit your channel, um, and I'm being absolutely truthful right now, I don't lie to people. If I go and I visit your channel, I will always leave a like. I'll usually tell you what like number it is, and I will leave a supportive comment. Now, if I basically run a playlist overnight, and you know, and you ran like a 30-minute video, or maybe it was a short live stream, or even a long live stream, or like the Black Widow, she'll do a 2-3 hour video sometimes. She doesn't really live stream, but she'll do like multi-hour videos. Um, if I run that, I'll say, you know, full replay. I'll have it on a, I'll have it on a playlist, and I'll run it, and then I will go back, and I will say, um, full replay, uh, like number, whatever like number it is, blessings, and I'll usually do a prayer symbol and a thumbs up. And that's for you to know, hey, you got full watch hours, 2 watch hours, whatever. Like she's got one right now. I've got on the watch list. Uh, then that I'm putting together that I'll hit, and it's a 2 hour one. And after it plays tomorrow, and it may be tomorrow evening, you know, and I played it tonight, and it'll be tomorrow evening when I'll go back and I'll leave a like and a comment. But now, let's say you're doing shorter stuff, and I'm watching it, running it. I'm not putting that on a playlist. If it's a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute video, I'm basically watching it, and it's running, and then I'll make like Echo, living my best life at 60, just did one on plants, house plants. She went out and shopped for house plants, got house plants. I watched it. It's like 5 minutes long, and best wishes to her and Dave. You know, she's Dave is going by Yoda of cards right now, baseball cards. Yoda of baseball cards, something to that effect. I mean, I was watching his stuff yesterday. Watching some of his, he's a fanatic about cards. He's knowledgeable, really knowledgeable about cards, and he's putting together sets of cards and such. And I was watching some of his videos. Well, those I was actually watching, you know, and you know, whenever I'm actually giving you the view. But if it's longer, truthfully, if it was like 15, 20 minutes, chances are I put it on a my watch list, and basically just coming in saying, because I really don't have the time now that I'm working. Before I was working, I'd watch everything that Dave and Echo would do, and I'd let the thing be running, and I'd be watching it. You know, in a lot of the live streams, I was there sitting while the live stream was running, making comments, or having moderator, standard moderator. I would go in and I'd link channels. I'd go in there and I'd, link channels and such. And playing wingman, he'd do the same thing for me. I'm working. I don't have time to do that now. Likewise, I really don't have the time. Isobar, thank you for coming in, Isobar. Thank you for coming in, Isobar. But I don't have the time the way I used to. I really don't. And don't be upset because I don't give you what I used to give you. 18 likes, thank you. Thank you for like 18, Isobar. I give what I can. Dick on Mixed Channel. Welcome. Another friend I haven't seen in a while. I haven't been over. I'm sorry. Work. But another good channel. All these people coming in, they have good channels. If you're a content creator, good channels, guys. I appreciate y'all. I will tell you, I take, since I was about 50 years old, I'm 61 now, I have been on blood pressure medication. I take 2 blood pressure pills. I take a water pill, a diuretic you call it. I take a cholesterol pill. And several years ago, a doctor prescribed meloxicam, and it is an anti-inflammatory. It's it's an Advil-based anti-inflammatory. Take a 15 milligram pill every day. And since I started taking it, it has knocked out my arthritis. I used to have arthritis and it'd move around. It'd be in the wrist, it'd be in the knee, it'd be in the shoulder, and I'd have it one place for a month, and it'd go away, and then 2 or 3 days later, a week later, then it comes up someplace else. It was just rotating, and thank God I didn't have it everywhere once, but it would rotate around. So it doesn't work on everybody. It does not work on everybody. But hey, it works for me, and it costs me very little. And I get a 90-day supply for less than $20. Used to be free, and then the insurance, for whatever reason, started charging me for it. My other medications are free, but I mean, that one, you get a 90-day supply. That one, I'm at the point where I'm paying $17, $18 for a 90-day supply of it. But it works really well, and it's worth the money. If you are interested in knowing specifically what it is, send me an email and I will ask about it, and I'll spell it out and exactly what I'm taking and everything, and I'll write you a little paragraph, or send me your phone number and I'll text you. And they've got different strengths of it. I take a 15 milligram. Every day I take a 15 milligram, and it works. And it took like 3 or 4 days before it kicked in. You take it, it's not going to work the first day. It took several days for it to get it up in my system and everything, and for it to work. And for whatever reason, they told me not to take it when I had my colonoscopy. They said, like, 5 days before your colonoscopy, stop taking it. I did. And luckily, I got back on it before the pain came back, But I mean, truthfully, I mean, you do not want to have to deal with that kind of, with that kind of pain. And God bless you if you are suffering arthritis. Mom of 4 boys. Stop taking what? Um, Meloxicam. It is an anti-inflammatory that is Advil based that is good for arthritis, and it basically just kicked my arthritis. I used to have arthritis pretty bad, and it would move around. And since I started taking it, after several days of taking it, it kicked it out, and I no longer have arthritis, or at least I no longer feel arthritis. Now I do. I get stiff. I don't. I can't move the way I used to. I don't move at the speed I used to. And I certainly, in the shape that I'm in, I can't do martial arts anymore. And I could probably get back into shape if I start working out, 2, 3 times a week, and start exercising. I could drop my weight, and you got to work on your range of motion. You got to work on that, and I could probably, you know, so like not being able to do what I used to do. If somebody was to confront me, I'd shoot them. I'm sorry if my life was threatened, by somebody, instead of trying to barehand them the way I used to on a few occasions. Um, I'd basically just have to go to my go to my my friend. It's like, oh, say hello to my little friend. Like I'd have to do that. And I have no desire to do that, but I'm certainly not going to take a beating or have somebody stab me or whatever if I can avoid it. Uh, yeah, I take it every day. Doctor says it's good stuff. Uh, and it's you can get stronger dosages of it. I mean, there are people who take like a 30 milligram dose, and I take 15. You know, and but it works. And I take like a cocktail. I take 5 different medications. I was taking an 81 milligram baby aspirin, and I was told that I could or I don't have to. You know, but I may go back to doing the 81 milligram, baby aspirin. Supposed to be good for your heart, and I used to do that for years. So, um, 19 likes, 13 in the house. So I need to. I really need to exercise. I need to. Cayenne pepper. You know, it's good to there are certain things that you could take, that are good for you. Just um, back in the day, everything was herbal medicines, and they didn't have The stuff that they have today. Most of the modern medicine, or fairly modern medicine's been around for 150 years or so. A lot of the stuff the miracle stuff that they have now has been around for less than 100 years. Antibiotics, that was a World War II discovery. Penicillin. Blood pressure medications. You know, being able to do blood transfusions. For being able to, um, having medications to treat different conditions, and being able to um, control and lower blood pressure or blood sugar, insulin. Like a lot of people take metformin, it's like a horse pill, you know, and a lot of people have to do injections. Roast beef and Swiss cheese with horseradish. Onions are good for you. Yep, onions. Um, I love jalapenos. Jalapeno peppers. I love jalapenos, and I love my Tabasco. And some people say, "Oh, I like this." They've got other versions that they like. Your body needs salt. Sea salt is good. You know, sea salt is good. Pepper is a good seasoning. Cinnamon. There are lots of different types of um, stuff that you can use. Uh, Eating a good salad. Redmond salt. Yeah, your body's about 70% water. You know, liquids and everything. If you've seen a mummy, or you've seen, a dried out, desiccated person, that's what's left over when all the moisture leaves the body. Olive oil. Way to go, olive oil. Use of olive oil. Good stuff. Cooking with olive, it's more expensive, you know, but olive oil, it's a lot healthier. Thank you for coming in, Belinda. So, I've read stuff about what happened recently with the cell phones, and one thing that they put out was it was a solar disruption, and then AT&T put out that they'd had a glitch or something other in the system that caused theirs to go down, and different cover stories. And I've heard people saying that that was like a test. So whenever something happens, I buy more freeze-dried food. I buy more number 10 cans, and I buy more, and I start looking at, well, how much of this do I have, and how much of that do I have, and how long will this last, and how long will that last, and what do I need to get, And then I've been buying more lithium power. I got a new lithium power station that I'm going to do an unboxing on. And I'll run it through its paces and do a video on it. I've been saying I'm going to do a video on screenshots I have of Uncle Al. He holds up his cards, when he's, shouting out, and he's trying to help people, and he does that to me a lot. He does that for me a lot. And I've got a number of screenshots that I've saved where he's different clothes, different hats, and he's holding up the little, and I'm gonna put together a little video on that. I did a video here recently. If you haven't seen it, it's not very long. Of images of people who have been my box winners, my 100 subscriber winners, every 100 since 500 to 1500, and I should put that together as a video. Put a little music to it, and and did pretty well. And then my haul that I did, that I put up a couple of days ago, it's got 60 some odd views. Where I went to Sam's and spent like $464 over at Sam's. If you haven't seen it, it's 5 minutes long. Give it a look. My last short that I put up has a little less than 100 views. I did a short, and I think it was some medications and some packs of different types of stuff. It's a short. If you haven't looked at it, give it a look and give it a like, please. I appreciate that. I don't do a lot of them. There are people that put out 4 or 5 a day, and I put out 1 or 2. Put out maybe 1 or 2 a week, if I do that much. So give mine some love, please. 8 in the house right now. 19 likes. I will plan on hopefully being back tomorrow. Thank you, Mike, for coming in. I will plan on being back tomorrow for another coffee talk, and I will try to get my stuff together so that I can do the video of Uncle Al. I need to do my unboxing video of my power station, Pecron power station, and I really just need to try to find the time to put some more stuff out. I feel good about that I can get an hour live stream in most evenings. Probably have a staff Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we'll probably have a staff meeting. TEA is visiting right now, so they said dress nicely. Well, this is what I wear. Every day I wear a different white. I have a dozen of them. I wear a white dress shirt, slacks. My comfort is I wear tennis shoes instead of wearing dress shoes. The one day I wore dress shoes, I had to chase a kid several blocks down, all over the campus and several blocks down the road to we caught him over in elementary school trying to get go home. Left campus without permission. And one day I wore dress shoes. I learned my lesson on that one. So thank you, Wayne. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, run, Forrest, run. And that's the thing, is I can walk at a pretty good pace for miles and miles and miles without stopping. But if I start jogging or if I start running, I lose my breath pretty fast. So I learned that if something happened and I wanted to be worth a damn when I showed up, I needed to basically just walk. I didn't run. Let the other folks run to whatever's going on. I'd walk, and when I got there, I still had some wind in me, so if I had to, I could intervene. You know, and that's the way that is. It's just the way things are, and it's good. It's good to exercise. It's good to exercise. Take care, Wayne. Appreciate you. And yeah, run, Forrest, run. So, when this video ends, if you have not, please, well, come back and leave me a comment. I would appreciate it. And if you haven't, please give me a thumbs up. It does not cost you anything. It helps me. Make somebody feel good. Give them a like. Say something nice. Thank responders. Tell your spouse or your children or your parents that you love them. Be respectful to your elders. You don't know how long you'll have them. Treat people the way you want to be treated. A good leader needs to be a good follower. I follow the golden rule. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I was a scout. Did not stay in it long enough to get my Eagle Scout. My father passed away. He taught me a lot. The Scouts taught me a lot. My uncle taught me a lot. And life is good. But it is what it is. And everybody, I always say this, please have a blessed day. In the morning when you wake up, thank God for the day. You don't know how many days you have, they're numbered. Thank God for the day. Say a morning prayer. And don't ask for outrageous stuff. Ask that the Lord bless your health and safety. And ask for good thought and wisdom. So everybody, please have a blessed day, and I will hopefully see you back tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. And give me some love. Look at my community wall. Leave comments on my community wall. I post examples of good. I always shout out channels. I post stuff about preps that I have. I put prices up. Good stuff. I don't recommend stuff that I don't use. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Nobody's sending me free stuff. This is me buying stuff myself. And if you want to contact me, my emails and all my videos, not my live streams, but in all my videos that I do, my email's there. Email me your phone number, and I will send you a text message. If you'd like to talk, it'll probably be on the weekend. I don't share out the information with anybody. And I will see you all back hopefully tomorrow for another edition. And I'll be running a playlist tonight, and I will be visiting some of you. So I try to give back. Everybody, please have a blessed day. Be safe. And hopefully I'll see you back tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk.